Hi everybody, it's Rachel Hawkes here again, and we are here with the baby massage video for tummies. There's also one on baby yoga that's part of this little book. I hope you have either had a look or you're going to look at that one next. This one is going to concentrate on, on massage techniques that you can use to help with some of the prevalent, shall I use the term, tummy issues that can affect your baby. So these will include constipation, trapped wind, colic, reflux are the big ones. Okay, there can be other ones that will affect your baby. I will put my little health disclaimer at the beginning of this, as I did in my last video. These are just tips that you can use at home. If you have health concerns about your baby, please do go and seek medical advice. Hopefully you are under the care of a health practitioner of some description, depending on where in the world you are, whether that's a paediatrician or a health visitor or your doctor. If you need more support, please do go and seek it. If you think that this has been going on for too long, please go and get professional advice. These are just meant to be add-ons to help you cope at home, because when you've got a baby screaming at 3 o'clock in the morning, you need some tips, okay? And I'm all about putting, I call them tools in the toolbox. Little different things that you can pop in. Some will work for some babies, some will work for other babies. But if you've got a whole array of different tools that you can try, then one, you feel better as a parent, and two, you may well find something that can really affect your baby and make life much easier for both of you, okay? Happy baby, happy parent. These are massage techniques that I have used on my own children. I have got twin girls, they're now 13, but I had tummy issues with both of them, and I also have been teaching baby classes for nearly 15 years, so I have seen hundreds if not thousands of babies over that time, and these techniques do help, okay? They can benefit your baby. So it isn't just me as a parent, it is me as an instructor, and seeing week by week how these techniques are taken home and used by parents and that they work. Hence putting this little book together for you guys, because depending on when you're watching this, at the moment we are smack bang in the middle of coronavirus and people can't get to classes, so it's putting some things out there that you can access. So with our babies, before we massage, we always do something called asking permission. So you're going to make sure you pick a time of day that your baby is happy. Now, this is slightly different than if we were doing a massage routine, because you are actually using these techniques, hopefully, to effect a change. So you don't need to worry about that you're going to do it at the same time every day. If you would like more information on my massage course, then details will be below in the book. I do actually have an online course which is a full body routine for baby massage, all videos with supplements and a handbook for you to print out as well. It's everything you need to massage your baby at home. But for these techniques, this is about the times that your baby is struggling or suffering. So scrap it has to be 10 o'clock in the morning or before bath. You do these techniques when your baby needs it, because there's no point knowing the techniques and then not applying them at the times that they're needed, which in my experience tends to be at least 20 minutes post-feed if you're looking at colic and reflux. Constipation can be throughout the day, because obviously if your baby is feeding, depending on the age of your baby could be feeding every 2 hours, every 4 hours, or if you're obviously demand feeding, they could be snacking basically throughout the day. So that can make the constipation, you don't have that cycle of knowing when it's hitting. So you can add this in whenever you need to, okay? So our babies are naked for this. You don't want nappy on because the nappy obstructs around the tummy, excuse me. And the main thing is you want to make sure the room is warm and that you have got an oil to hand. Now, olive oil is a no for baby massage because it affects the permeable layer of the skin. I like vegetable and plant-based oils, so in my classes we always use grapeseed oil, but sunflower oil is nice, sesame, sweet almond because it's actually from the flower, not the nut, so if you're worried about nut allergies. Personally, I don't use coconut oil. I know a lot of people do. I find that it's almost a little bit too thin. It's the viscosity of the oil. It's a lovely word, isn't it? Viscosity. But that thickness of the oil that's important. In my classes, I always provide organic grapeseed oil. It has the least amount of allergies that I've come across. I'm currently filming from my little wellbeing room where I'm also a massage therapist. I blend my own oils for my adult clients, and this one has got cocoa butter, shea butter, grapeseed oil, coconut oil. So it's a much thicker oil. If you can use a flip top lid, that works really well because this bottle, as you will see, you have to pour it, which is a real pain when you're dealing with babies because you've got arms and legs going everywhere. So again, I always use flip top bottles in my classes because they are much easier to use. I don't put it in a little bowl or anything like that because again, if it gets tipped, it goes everywhere. So flip top lids, guys, I will post a picture in this book of the ones that I use so that gives you an idea. And you're obviously going to use some oil, so make sure your oil is to hand. Make sure the room is warm because you don't want a cold room, and make sure that your area is secure. You know, if you're doing this on a changing table, that's fine, but make sure that your baby obviously is not going to move and fall off. So before we oil up, we're going to do something called asking permission. So you're going to rub your hands very firmly together. You're creating friction, so you want your hands to be warm. So fast and push them together as you're rubbing, and you'll feel that heat. Take them off, hands on baby's chest straight away, make eye contact and say, would you like a massage? Now at the moment your baby doesn't know, and Daisy, bless her, she always says yes because she's a doll. But you want to create as much eye contact as you can, and then you're going to stroke down your baby in an opening stroke, and then you're going to get your oil. So you're going to pour your oil into your hands, rub your hands together. If you can keep one hand on your baby, something that we like to do in massage, but don't overly worry about it. We are obviously today going to focus on tummy work. I am going to move Daisy up to show you as clearly as possible. Don't do this position to your baby, you keep your baby lying down, but I'm going to have Daisy like this to show you so you can see what I'm doing. Always have a muslin to hand when you're doing massage because chances are they're going to wee, so you want something underneath your baby, ideally a towel that can go straight in the wash because they will at least wee, and actually if you're looking to get things moving, they can do a lot more than that. So be prepared, all your changing bits, you know, wipes, towels, whatever it is you use, keep it by the side of you. Okay, so you've oiled up, your hands are going to go just on your baby's tummy. I'll put her down as well so you can see. So we try and work just on the tummy, okay? With our little babies that's really hard because sometimes our hands are bigger than that area, but if you can try and think of that as its own space, and the belly button is the midpoint, okay? So you can just place your hands, a little bit of weight, not, you know, you're not massively kneeing in, but just a little bit of weight because it's reassuring. And then with the belly button being the midpoint, you're just going to stroke out to the side. And then we're going to do a tummy circle. So I'm going to lift her up to show you. So belly button is the midpoint. You're going to use the flat of the hand, you're not going to poke, and you're going to draw a big circle around the tummy, clockwise direction if you can, because that's how the colon gets wrapped around. And you're just going to work slow and steady. It's not this, okay, because that will just be irritating. If you're worried about pressure, because this isn't a skin massage, we want to affect the organs, we want to get things moving. You know, if this is constipation or trapped wind, then you'll start to feel it. The more you do this, you'll feel areas that are solid, and that is where the food, well, in this case milk, is compacted in certain parts and it isn't being pushed through the colon. So we are doing that job for the body, okay? So you want a little bit of pressure, it's not a full weight on. One of the nice ways to do that is just to have one hand on top of the other, because just that weight of the other hand can be enough. And we're just going to circle round, slow and steady. I'll put it down as well so you can see, just slow, clockwise and steady. Connecting with your baby, make sure they're okay, have a little chat. And then we're going to use 2 fingers and we're going to do little circles, daisy petals I call them. So you're still clockwise, I will show you again. You are still clockwise. But you are doing little circles round. You go. And then the last one is a tummy square. So you're going to slide up along under the ribs and down, and then you glide over the lower tummy. So it's only the first 3 strokes that have any pressure, and that's because again we're working with how the colon works, moving everything towards bladder and bowel. And then we're just going to finish by stroking down. So you're starting underneath the ribs and you stroke down the tummy. Pressure as you stroke. Pressure as you stroke. This is another good one for reflux as well, by the way. Finish with a nice little yoga move. So you're just going to shake the legs a little bit, let the body relax. And then you're going to bend the knees in and let it go. And you're going to bend the knees in, check in, make sure they're okay, and let it go. So there's some nice ones. I want to add a little acupressure point in here because, sorry Daisy, on the feet there is a point, an acupressure point on the top third of the foot that corresponds with the solar plexus, which is right where the pyloric sphincter sits. So if your baby has got reflux, hiccups it's really good for as well, then this is a really great one to add in. So your third toe along, you're going to follow that across. You're going to take that all the way down, and then horizontally, just underneath the big toe, it creases. You're going to follow that line, and right in that, where those 2 points intersect, you're going to see dips in ever so slightly in your baby's foot. Your thumb, I'm going to bring her forward so you can see. Can you see that? So her, right, dips in just there. Your thumb goes in that point, and you're going to keep that thumb in place and just rotate it round. On either of the feet, either one, or both together, or you could just sit there. The nice thing is about with all of these moves is you don't have to have them lying down doing this. If your baby is struggling with reflux or colic, sometimes lying them down makes them really uncomfortable. So I want to show you that you can do all of these with your baby sat up. wait for milk to go down, okay? Don't ever do this immediately after a feed because it will be really uncomfortable on the tummy. But after 20 or 30 minutes, if that's when your baby starts to exhibit signs of distress and discomfort and pain, then you don't even need oil, you can do it over clothes, okay? So if you're out and about and you're not able to use any oil, or actually you just want to see whether just working a little bit can help them, sit them up and just go around the tummy. Okay, do it over the clothes. Don't do it on bare skin without oil because you stick on the skin and it feels horrible. But you can do this over clothes. Okay, then do those little circles round. Bring the knees in and release them. You can work the little points. One foot, the other foot, or even both feet. Okay. Always, if you are doing a proper massage and you've got them naked and you're spending kind of 10-15 minutes, just always straight down when you finish, just because it lets them know that you're done. If you are thinking about combining this with yoga, it works really, really well. I would do the yoga moves, then I would add in some massage to bring them down. Okay, you could do a couple of the yoga moves, a couple of the massage moves. You could do it all with them clothed and start with a bit of marching and then do some tummy work. Find the ones that work for you and your baby and have a little play around with them, okay? Try them together, try them separately, mix one or two, see whether it works, and let me know how you get on, okay? This, you have very kindly bought this from me, but I am here to support you as well. So there is a private Facebook group that you now have access to. Feel free to pop in there, okay? And I will put the link again, it's in this book for you. Pop in there, any questions you've got, pop in, ping a question in. I'm in there, there's other mums in there, there's plenty of support for you. So don't think that you are out there on your own, because, other mums for advice can be a absolute brilliant source of help and support. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope these help. I hope you're able to put both of them together and that in some way they can relieve some of the distress that your baby's going through. And feel free to connect in and let me know